Hi guys, I'm KCLau here at my studio, and I have the CEO and founder of LifeEngineering, Mr. Gim Loh, at my studio today to do this webinar. So Gim, can you explain a little bit what we are going to do during the webinar?
Hi, I'm Gim. I'm a CEO and co-founder of LifeEngineering. Later at the webinar, I'll be taking you through why we are doing this, why we do LifeEngineering, and then what is LifeEngineering all about, what are the benefits, and then how does it really work. And then we'll take you through how easy it is to just do the registration, and I urge everybody to look through the entire webinar and then register yourself later.
Today we are first time meeting, and we just found out that our sons study in the same school.
yeah. So, what a coincidence! Yeah.
What a coincidence! Yeah. So probably in the morning we took the same route to go to school, I guess.
Yeah, I knew we live similar place. Yes.
So you see Gim, right? He has a vast experience in banking industry, if I'm not mistaken. So here is Gim.
Okay.
Right, Gim, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. My name is Gim.
Gim.
The right way of pronouncing is Gim. It's okay because Gim is from a Chinese word Jim. So I spent my years predominantly in banking and in management consulting.
Wow.
Yeah. So after this, that we together with the founder, we came across this great idea that we thought we're going to help people. That's how we started LifeEngineering.
Yeah, I know that you are well established already. In your career. And why do you come up to do this thing, right? I'm definitely curious about this. This is really something new and going to be big if it is successful, and it's going to disrupt some of the existing industry.
I think sometimes maybe it's opportunity, sometimes coincidence. Maybe we are not something like saying, oh, we're going to change the world, but I do believe that we get this right. We believe that we're going to change the landscape in terms of healthcare costs, and in terms of, more importantly, we help a lot of people. So I think it's just like what we think, that if we can help others, why not? And it's not like going to be doing exhausting everything, but I think it's going to be a lot of effort putting together. But it's going to be fun, I think, if everybody put in their piece of it.
Oh, nice. So can you just maybe a few minutes tell us about the company, how you get started, and
we started back. I think the whole idea started back 1 year back with Gideon, who's the founder. You can see on the screen, Gideon Leong. Gideon came from Ipoh, and then he has he received a great vision that he wanted to start something to really help people. After he's seen, I think it's a lady that wanted to get some medical help, and then she went on to the usual press media to ask for donations. But I think before the donations can reach, and I'm sure all of you have heard of it, most of the time before the donations can reach the number that they needed, the patient has passed away. So that gives him the very strong inspirations to get the people. Then he approached me and a few other the other two founders, and then we come together to put this together.
Nice. And I think this is worth mentioning, right?
Yeah.
Jeff Chin.
Right. So Jeff, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Jeff. Jeff is our IFM DJ, famous celebrity. Yeah. I think he also feels very strongly about this. That's why he's getting very active in this, and he stand up in his personal capacity to support this program. To the right is our legal director, which is Lee Kai. Basically, he takes care of all our legal affairs. He also happens to be my primary school friends.
Nice. And you also have your dedicated staff and some advisories team as well.
Our business is we are live, so we actually do have a small team, both on customer service as well as marketing. A small team of 5 currently doing it now. We cover all languages. You can see that we are Muhiba. We have the 3 main races with us, and then of course we do marketing. And then in terms of advisory side of it, we have a doctor as our main advisor, because this is about medical cost, medical care.
Yep.
And then to the left you see is actually Nicholas Yeo. Nicholas is a very renowned actuary, and he's actually an actuary consultant, basically doing all the study about the probabilities and the cost of a medical cost in this particular program.
I see. So actually, actuary services is actually definitely needed in the insurance industry. So you have an advisor as well for that, right? Okay, good. So in today's session, we are going to talk answer a lot of questions. I think you will, as for the audience as well, I think I think you will have a lot of questions to ask about this kind of something new, right? There are a lot of things with that we don't know. So you can post your question in the Q&A box and we'll try to address it. Whatever question, whatever thing you want to grill Gim here, you can always put it in the Q&A box. Feel free to do so. So by the way, we are going to do a very short presentation on what LifeEngineering is about.
Sure. Let me just take you through. I think the more important thing is that every time we launch, somebody launch something, I think the important thing is that what does it address and what is the situation. And I think something that's close to our heart is basically our health. I think once, at some point in time in our life, we definitely fall sick. Either ourselves or our loved ones, and then when you fall sick, it becomes a headache. Not so much of just because the person can recover or not. Also, a lot of times it's because can you afford to pay the bill or not. And I think it is not new to everybody anymore that medical cost is going up by 10 to 15% a year, and you can see this number appearing in any of the media. And if you look at 10-15%, it may not look scary, but actually it is scary because if you compound this one in 5 years' time, whatever it costs you now, it will double.
Yeah, so, 5 years will be double. Crazy.
So it's a really crazy numbers if you think about it. Something that costs 3,000-4,000 to be treated now could cost maybe 8,000 to be treated in 4-5 years time. And then we are getting healthier, we live longer, and we will face this issue as we go. But that's the first thing. Second thing is that this is something very new that came out I think about 2 weeks ago in Malay Mail online. That basically the Association of Private Hospitals basically cited that there is 30% dropped in admissions in private hospitals.
What do you mean drop in?
That means there are 30% fewer people going to private hospitals. And where do they go? Certainly they go to public hospitals.
Because they cannot afford private healthcare.
So people trade off cost over waiting, and everybody knows that public hospitals tend to be more overcrowded. You have to wait longer. It's cheaper, you have to wait longer. But people opt to wait longer because I think cost is a concern for them. So we see that there is a cost concern and people are reacting to it. Two is that I think eventually we will have another problem, which is the overcrowding of the public hospitals, right? We will see getting more and more people going there. And in fact, the government is actually they have been talking about, the health ministry is actually looking into voluntary self-insurance scheme to figure out how to resolve this issue. So I think this is going to be, we also hope that our program, this one will address one of these issues that's coming up facing our country. The third one is basically, maybe it's surprising to some of you, but it is originally surprising to me when I came across this somewhere in last year, that there are 35% of people actually pay for their own medical costs.
Even in private hospital, not everyone have insurance.
Even in private, so not everybody has insurance. Maybe because they couldn't qualify. Maybe they thought that there's a cheaper way, instead of paying every month, they just pay when it happens to them. But this is actually a alarming number. And imagine that if you go back to there's 10-15% escalation cost in 5 years' times, I don't know if they can afford to pay for themselves. And the trend is that there are more and more people going to do that because they are managing the cost, and everybody knows that we are facing this cost issue, particularly in our country. So with this context, I think the timing is such that I think it's a pressing issue. We may not think of it every day, but I'm sure it's an issue that will bug you the minute you fall sick, the minute some of your loved ones fall sick. So we with Gideon having the vision, came across this idea. We came together. We started this platform called LifeEngineering. LifeEngineering essentially is a crowd sharing platform. Everybody probably heard of crowdfunding. Crowd sharing is slightly different. Let me just talk about what's crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is basically you gather money from the public and then you fund a particular project. Crowd sharing means you pull everybody together. We are a platform. We are an administrator. LifeEngineering is an administrator. We pull everybody together to join the platform. Then we share the medical costs. So that means the amount is not fixed upfront. We don't collect premium or we don't collect money upfront from you, right? We only share the actual medical costs incurred. For example, if we have 10,000 people, 10,000 sharer, we call sharer, people who join the community, we call sharer. If we have 10,000 sharer in the community, and for some of the sharers fell sick and went to hospital and seek hospitalization, and the medical bill came out to be 100,000 for the total community, then for that month, the 100,000 divided by 10,000, everybody only chip in $10. That means for a mere 10 ringgit, you will have covered the cost. So if for that month, nobody falls sick, How much do we share?
You don't have to share anything.
Then the zero. So in that sense, we are sharing the cost, and the way we do is that we don't add additional. I don't add our cost. We don't add administrative cost into it. So what you share is actual medical costs. So compared to other programs you see, definitely this will be a lot cost savings because there's no other margin being built into it.
Yeah, because no agent commissions.
Yeah.
No other kind of profit being
correct. There's no operating costs, no profit, or no commissions being built into it, because the whole idea is try to alleviate the problem that people are facing, right? And I think some people may ask that is it safe? It is safe because we do collect. It's not we collect. We ask sharers to contribute ringgit deposit, but the deposit is kept with an independent trustee. We don't receive the money. It's kept with a global trustee that is governed by a trustee. So anything, the trustee will manage the money, and the company doesn't receive a single cent unless we crowd share and claim the money.
Okay, so the structure is structured in such a way. I think like unit trust also the same, right?
Right.
The fund manager, they don't touch the money.
Right.
Basically, the money is parked with the trustee. That's why I call it unit trust.
Correct.
So this is like the same structure, isn't it?
True.
Okay.
So some of you may think that are we an insurance or not? We are not. I mean, of course, we address the medical costs. We don't compete with insurance. We don't want to replace insurance. In fact, you can still have your medical insurance. It's just that we are an alternative solution to it, that you can have a peace of mind that you have somebody to share with you, and then the cost of participating is not very high, and then you can still have your insurance. In fact, we are talking to insurance company to be a partner. We are talking to reinsurance company to be a partner. So we are coexisting in the ecosystem.
So Gim, I think this is a very sensitive question because even before I start this session, right, I already got members who are like asking about this question already about insurance. They also saw like lately just Bank Negara, they come up with a circular. They are saying that if you want to operate an insurance business, you have to have the licensing from Bank Negara, of course, the approval. But in your case, you are not insurance company, so that's nothing to do with Bank Negara, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Casey, thanks for bringing this up. I mean, we are not an insurance. By definition, we are only a platform. We actually get everybody together and share, right? So our role is to facilitate the sharing. It happens that the thing that we are sharing is a medical cost, which is very close to what one of the insurance industry's products. But we're not an insurance company. But I think Bank Negara recently mention this is because I think something new. So I think it's good for people to be alert, but it's not something negative. It's just something new that people should get to know more. And I think that's why we are very open. We are open to all the questions. We don't mind coming up to the sessions like this to answer even more questions for that.
Yep. Okay, nice. So when we're saying that it's something new in Malaysia, but it's not something new elsewhere, right? It's like it's quite established also.
In an app basis, it's actually new maybe 1 year ago. China started this 1 year back. In China they call it 互助 for those people who happen to speak Mandarin.
互助
互相帮助,
this is the word.
Help each other. Basically, it's exactly what it is. It's a platform whereby people share. But I think in China it's slightly different from what we do. Is that China is a few main features that's different. One is that they only help you once. If you share your situation once, then that's it. You can no longer ask for help. Compared to our case, that you can ask for help as many times as you want. But of course, I always tell the sharer, you don't want to ask for help many times because that means you're sick. And then you're getting worse if you keep asking for help. But if you really need help, that's what the community is about. People don't just fall sick once; people fall sick throughout their lifetime, and we are a lifetime program. Second thing is that for China program is that they very much focus on critical illnesses. So a bit similar to a critical illness program for insurance company. But for us, we basically cover your hospitalization. You could be going in for a dengue that you need, but it's not a critical illness. But sometimes dengue can become critical if it's not handled properly. What we cover is what we share. Sorry, I'll just correct the word. It's not a word cover. What you can share is the cost that you can share is basically hospitalization.
So that means you have to stay in hospital.
Correct. When you need to be hospitalized. Because the motive of this, the vision and motive of this program is that it's meant to relieve you from your financial burden. So if it's only a clinic, usual the general illnesses, you can take care of yourself, then we let you take care of yourself. You don't have to ask the whole community to share with you a 200 ringgit clinic bill, right? But you want the community to help you to share a 4,000 operation bill because it probably could create a burden to you, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, good. So what's the benefit?
The benefit is that I think more importantly, we look back, it's more like a vision. We always believe that medical care, it should be your rights, your birthright. You should access to medical care. It's not a privilege for the rich people, but currently it can get more and more expensive. So the benefit is that to participate, your maximum you do is actually 50 ringgit a month. So if we share, just now go back to the sharing example, if the sharing is per month, what you have to share maximum is 50 ringgit. If it exceeded that amount, we'll roll over to the next month to share. Okay, so it's very affordable. 50 ringgit today.
So
I
it's
wonder
regardless of your age, isn't it?
Okay, we started with the age range of 8 to 40. Regardless of your age, it's still only maximum 50 ringgit. And we all know that if you go to any of the medical program, it won't cost you. You probably cannot get it at this price unless you're very young, unless you are like maybe in 18 or 20 years old. But if you are at a working, then 50 ringgit is definitely affordable.
And normally it comes with a limit as well if you buy insurance, right?
Yeah. So for us, because this is a sharing, right? So there is no limit. No limit for per year, no limit for lifetime. And I come back to say that it sounds scary, but to me, it's that I don't think you want to have the limit, because if you share very high, means you're going to be very unhealthy, right? But we believe that as long as we have a community big enough, the sharing can be handled. And I want to add is that we are actually working with insurance party and reinsurers, the professionals in this particular industry, to figure out how to manage this risk better, so that sharers can have really peaceful mind to join the community.
Yeah. Okay, how about the third one? Medical benefits for life.
So many of our sharers ask, so what happened after we are 40 years old? As long as you're in, you'll be for life. As long as you continue to contribute every month, participate in the sharing, you'll ride with us all the way until the end of day, right?
So what if you stop like contribution for a certain time?
So what happened is that actually to join is also very easy. Later we probably can go through how to join. But you want to withdraw, you feel that this is not something you want to, it's also at the click of button. But you happen to withdraw, then you can no longer share at the point when you withdraw. But if you re-enter again, you're subject yourself to we call it 120 days of deferred period. That means you have to wait for 120 days, then only you can start sharing. So you can come back anytime you want, because we feel that people sometimes make decisions in their life for whatever reasons best known to themselves. So if they decide to withdraw, they can withdraw, unless they are withdraw for some not so good reason.
Because when you withdraw, you are not going to get any money back, right? Because whatever share is sharing.
So what you do is that because in this program you put 100 ringgit as a deposit with the trustee, the money is used to be deducted to share every month, depending on the monthly amount. What we say is that if you withdraw, for example, this particular month, if you withdraw, then you have to be committed to that sharing for that particular month. Any balance, the trustee will refund to you.
Okay.
On a deposit,
On a deposit, right.
One of these things is that every time, I'm sure, I mean, you know that if any of you fall sick or your family member falls sick, and then you get an advice from a doctor, then you always first thing come across as, can I check with somebody else or not? Who do I check with? How do I know that this is the right thing to do? Is this expensive or not? So what happens is that going through our professional medical auditor, EMAS, Gims Medical Solutions in Berhad, we actually also engage another party professionals globally to be able to provide a second professional opinion. They will tell you that should you do this operation, should you wait? Of course, it will cost you a little bit money, but you can get access to professionals. With today's technology, you can access to global doctors easily. Not gone are the old days whereby you got to know which doctor to ask for. I think that's
so you mean this is a second professional opinion? This is something that is built in for the sharers. That means when you are diagnosed with some major illness,
you can always ask.
You can get this second opinion and free of charge, is it?
If we're going through our professional medical auditor, then we won't charge you. But if you want a global doctor's experience, which we actually engage in a company called Meadow Asia, then they will charge us a nominal fee for you.
See. Okay, good. And how about the panel hospitals?
Yeah, one of these things is that, okay, if I join a program, which hospital can I go to? You can pretty much go to most of the hospitals exist in Malaysia, with a few selected few that we for that I think very few that you can't get access to. You go to our website, you can see the whole long list of both private and
where can
public
we check it?
hospitals. You go into the panel hospitals.
Yeah. Panel hospitals. So these are the
correct. So you can go these are by states, and then once you click on it,
let's look at Selangor. I think most people are from Selangor.
Right. So if you look at it, even Gleneagles is in there. So we gotta look for because it's
is it more? Gleneagles will be in
KL.
Kuala Lumpur, right?
Yeah. Right. What's the name? Oh, this is a public, right?
This is the government hospital.
So you can go to private.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
Private. Okay.
So because usually I look at it through my app, so looking at such a big screen does get me a bit.
Where is Kuala Lumpur? Wilayah Persekutuan. Here it is.
So you see,
okay.
even Gleneagles is in there.
It's
so
Jalan Ampang one. Okay.
we have signed up all. What you do is that you just have to show your app in your profile later. Where if you go through this registration, it will show you at the profile there's an EMAS logo, which is our partner. And with that, you can actually get admitted to the hospital.
So does the process also go through like what the insurance industry do is like you have to go get the letter of guarantee, things like that?
Yeah, very similar because like it or not, a hospital want to make sure that you can get paid only they let you come in. Our process is very similar because EMAS also handle for insurance industries as well. So they are very professional, they are experienced in this industry. What they do is that we have two categories. If you're emergency, if you suddenly something, you cut yourself, profusely bleeding, you got admitted, then what you do is just make a phone call to EMAS and you just go straight to hospital. Then the EMAS would know which hospital you're in and they will arrange for it. But what we normally try to do is that because a lot of times, because this is a community program, we want people to know that whether certain illnesses is really necessary or if it's not emergency, how best to take care of it. Is that what you do is that after, usually when you see it, you would see a general practitioner, they'll say, okay, maybe you should go to hospital to do this. Then what we do is we send the diagnosis to EMAS. Then EMAS will come back within the 3 to 7 working days to say that, okay, we'll give you a guarantee letter to go into the hospital. So you should go through a guarantee letter process.
Okay. So good, a standard process. And what is this bereavement payments?
Bereavement payments. Usually, in most of this is basically in a simple way. It's meant to help if the sharer meet an unfortunate time. That means if he or she pass away. So what we do is that we have a amount set of 50,000 to be shared among the community members. So that is meant to, because usually when this kind of death is untimely, for people who need some money, it's not a large amount, but it's a sufficient amount to probably defray some of the critical expenses happen when death is untimely. So we do have this bereavement payment feature built into our community.
I see. So it sounds like free life insurance for everyone.
Nothing is free. I think at the end of the day, it's all about sharing, right? So because this 50,000 is going to be shared among the community at all. But I think an important thing is that I want to talk about this sharing concept is that I think in our life we share on many things. I mean, when we are born, okay, so the easiest thing to think about is when you get married, right? You collect ang pao, you collect gifts. It's actually against sharing, right? So when you give birth to your first son or your first daughter, you also got congratulatory ang pao or gifts. That against the sharing. Actually, when you pass away, especially for Chinese, right, you get what they call the pakam.
The pakam, yes.
So the pakam is also a sharing. If you look at it in that way, it's actually a sharing to defray the expenses. So from the point of view, that's why I think come back to just now I said we are a crowd sharing platform. That means the crowd comes together because they are like-minded. They believe that medical cost is a problem. Medical cost is something, their health is important to them. So we come together, we share the cost. So when you're healthy, it's okay. But you must think, if you're healthy, I got nothing. But remember, when you're healthy, you're actually helping others. And then you never know when it's untimely, you help yourself. So when you help others, also can help yourself, I think. And then for a mere cost of less than 50 ringgit a month, I think it's good. You just save not to eat one nasi lemak a day, then you're pretty much taken care of. Nothing against the nasi lemak seller, because I love to eat also.
Yeah, me too. So okay, now about the eligibility of how our sharers, how do you participate? So let's talk a little bit about what make them qualifies to.
Okay,
you know.
I think the first thing is that we set it at the age range of 8 to 40 for the time being, and there's very reason for it is because 8 to 40, most of people know that is the healthiest age range.
That's the healthiest age.
Yeah. So it's just like any community, any society, we need a healthy bunch to build the community,
Yes.
right? So that we can take care of the old and the young, right?
Yeah.
So same thing, we'll build a young community age, because that is also less problem happen.
Yeah.
Once you have a built community, we can actually allow the older ones or the more junior ones to come in, which tend to probably more prone to sickness, or younger one maybe we get more worried to have the sickness.
Yeah.
So I think the age start is 8 to 40 at this point. We do plan to extend the age once the community builds up. You must be Malaysians at this point.
Have to be citizen, right? Not PR.
Yeah, so we Malaysians. Okay. So because we want to address to solve a Malaysia problem at this point. We may consider expanding it later, but currently this is a Malaysian program.
Okay.
The last two items you see is active and healthy, because this is to address a medical cost. Solving your medical bill is a very short-term issue, but getting you healthy is a long-term solution.
Yeah.
So with this program, what we go forward is that we'll provide a lot of education to let you know how do you take care of yourself, how do you keep a healthy lifestyle, how to keep yourself active, what are the sicknesses you should know, what to do when you have certain sicknesses. So we're working with EMAS, our professional medical auditor, to come up with educational program, and then we intend to work with Ministry of Health and other relevant parties to come up with this. And the last thing is honest, because I think this society, it might be actually a very fluffy word. People say, hey, honest, how do you define? But I think this is a community, so I believe everybody actually have genuine interest in this. So we, of course, so we want people to say that why we say honest is that as later we go through the registration, we ask you, are you healthy? Then you ask me, hey, how come you ask me the question, are you healthy? Then I guess because your community will ask you, are you healthy?
Yeah.
Then you have to answer you're healthy. If you're not healthy, if you answer you're healthy, then you will subject yourself to disqualification if we find out, right? So the honesty is important, because we are building a community. We are not for making profit when it comes to this crowd sharing medical costs. So honesty becomes one of the basic fundamental for the program.
Yeah, good. Okay, so now come to the sensitive part. You know, it's like, it sounds like there's nothing in it for you guys. So how do you make money?
Actually, to be honest, if we get this program up, it is already is something in it for everybody, because that means your medical cost is, you don't have to worry, right?
Yeah.
But more importantly is to say, hey, how do we continue to go forward?
Yeah.
Which is in generally, most people say, how do you make money,
Yeah.
right? The way we make money is that basically it's a concept of, again, I come back to sharing economy. In this digital world, by virtue of coming up together as a community, we actually pull our data together. With our data, we can attract advertising, right? So with our data together as a community, the true sense of sharing economy comes out. A lot of people talk about sharing economy, actually is not truly. Like for example, Uber is a sharing, but sharing the profit doesn't come to split with everybody, right?
The profit is only
e-hailing.
the owner, right?
Not sorry, I just don't mean to just target Uber, but the e-hailing industry is the profit doesn't share among. Of course, it creates a lot of convenience, which is very good. I use Uber. In fact, I just used Uber yesterday, so I think it's a great thing. But in our case, in LifeEngineering, we actually pull all the community together. We use the community power to get advertisement, and then also to collaborate with like-minded businesses. For example, we can negotiate with tire shops and say, okay, collectively for the LifeEngineering community, we will get a 10% rebate. For all this advertising revenue and the rebate you get, what we do is that we have put it in our program guideline. 30% of the profit will go back to the share pool. And what does it mean if you go back to the share pool? It will lower the cost. So for example, it was, just go back to just now the example, if you have 100,000 medical costs for the 10,000 community, now I collected 20,000 revenue. of the 30%, of 30% comes to 20,000. So the total medical cost becomes only 80,000. So you share 8 ringgit instead of sharing 10 ringgit. So in that sense, you actually truly a sharing economy. You share what we call, today's world we call digital crumbs that we left behind. Now we pull it together in community to share, and then the revenue we generate, we plow back into the community to do. So that's why it's very important for you to go out and share this, and then the more the sharers joining community, the stronger we are.
As a community, right?
Right.
Okay, good. So 30% is pouring back to benefit every sharer.
Right.
Okay, good. So this is the website. You have LifeEngineering.mind, and you can go to the Facebook LE Care, Instagram, and you have your customer service staff.
Right.
Answering phone call. So let's get to the next part where we're going to demonstrate.
Sure.
Yes.
That should be a fun one. So you go to our website.
Yep.
You just type lifeengineering.my.
Okay. So this is the main site.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you come to the main page. If you look at the heading, you can scroll through. We have talk about us, right?
So this is
talk about the benefits I mentioned about. And
you have your apps, right?
Yeah, you can register with Google. Our iOS is still pending approval. We're working on it. This usually it's harder, slightly more challenging with Apple, but we believe we will get it. The Android is available.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. Yeah. But I think everybody can get access to a browser, so you can just, even from a mobile phone, even if you have Apple, which is why I do. I have Apple as well. Then you go to lifeengineering.my. You go to the top right hand corner next to the language selection that's called Join Now.
Join Now. So
you just click.
Okay.
Then it take you straight into the web version of it. The first few screens are all about a simple summary about us. So if you have scroll through, after you scroll through, then you can just click proceed.
Okay. So proceed. Okay.
Then if you're an existing member, you can log in, right? If you're not an existing member, then you just click join today.
Join today.
Right. So you're supposed to key in your mobile number because we use a mobile number to register. It's a mobile number, right? Okay. Because we make it mobile so that it can convenient for you to go around.
Yeah.
Then you key in your name. So
so I'm gonna do it because I'm not eligible. I'm over 40.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna do it for my son. So sorry, I'll take this off screen to do it. Okay. Let me input my name.
So for those people who are on this, you can actually go to our website and you can try to register. Right. You just have to make sure you have your.
So like the user details, should I insert my son's name or my name?
Your son's name, because he's the one that is a sharer.
He's the sharer.
But because he's under 18, he needs a guardian. So the guardians would, for two reasons, one, know that he's actually joining this. Two is to cover his payment.
Okay. So I'm going to enter my email address.
Right.
So I think it's very and the IC number?
Your son's IC. So if you register as sharer, everybody have their own account. It's just that if you are minor means you are below 18 years old, then you need a guardian. Guardian is for two reasons. One for legality, two is for payment.
Then in the emergency, I've done the info. Right. So the emergency contact will be.
Then you can put yourself.
Put myself. Okay.
So because what happened is that when you are admitted to hospital, we actually will send a message to the emergency contact for two reasons. One is to verify the genuinity of you. Two is also to inform your loved one in terms of you are actually at the hospital.
Okay, so there's a security question.
Correct. Just for you to recover later your password.
Okay. And
then you have to upload in the web version. You have to upload your IC
so
image.
This is a IC image that I can upload, right?
Right.
Okay. Let me see. I have my IC prepared. So this is
your son's IC.
My son's IC.
Yeah. Because once the system will detect that of your age, if you are below 18, then the next screen will come up later. Correct? They'll tell you that oops, you are below 18. The system will require a guardian's particular. So you click OK.
Okay.
Then KC will need to fill in your own particulars.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay. So this is actually very easy to do, right? Just follow the step.
It's meant to be this way that actually don't need. Most people who uses nowadays it's so common. You just register for something. It takes you only a few minutes, but you just get your IC and everything ready.
So I click.
Okay, so that means that maybe Casey can show these questions. So after you key in your particulars, then you pop up this. Do you remember we talked about this honest and so we'll go through a terms of declaration. So first of all, you have to know that you are healthy. You don't have any existing medical conditions, because otherwise it become unfair to put the burden on the rest to share, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Second thing is that you know how you make sure that you fulfill the eligibility, that you are between 8 to 40, you're active and all that. So you can read the program guidelines. You can click and you can read the program guidelines. You take you to another page to read the program guidelines, right? And we are very transparent. We tell you exactly what is in there. So for our program, so you can just go through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. And then.
So then you have read the program guidelines. You've read the legal disclaimer, because this is a sharing community. So whatever the risk is actually shared by everybody. It's not being picked up by LifeEngineering. So because all as a sharer, we share the risk together.
Okay.
Then there are 2 debits that typically we'll do. All right. One is basically for the deposit that goes to the trustee, independent trustee. The second one is the annual participation fee. There's a minimum fee that we collect to engage the trustee, to engage the medical professionals to defray some of the costs. But for today, actually, we have for the initial launch, we have the free lifetime annual participation fee. That means you don't have to pay for the rest of the life. Otherwise, it will cost you 100 ringgit every year.
Every year, so that's okay.
So if you sign up for the first 2,000 that sign up, you don't have to pay this amount, right? But you can still click, but you won't debit your account. Okay.
So that means we are just going to pay 100 one time at this moment.
Correct.
Okay.
That will go to the trustee.
And then this 100 will be like deposit in the trustee, and then they'll every month the sharing fee of 50 ringgit they'll deduct from that deposit.
Every month, but Casey is that it's not always 50, right? Remember we said that if there's nothing to share that month, I don't deduct from you. If that month the sharing is 30 ringgit, I will claim the 30 ringgit from the trustee. So you ask me a question. So when do the money will run out in the deposit, right?
Yeah.
So the system in such a way that if the deposit that you keep with the trustee drop below 50 ringgit, then the system will automatically trigger to
charge a credit card.
To bring the deposit back into 100 ringgit again.
So will it be possible that in one particular month that you have to share more than 50 ringgit?
No.
Will that happen?
It will not. Unless we have changed the cycle, but the current cycle is only monthly.
I see. So I would like to receive newsletter, so I'll just click agree.
Okay. Then we go through about a handful of questions about your lifestyle. That is actually a way to us to get to know yourself. So it says, ask yourself, are you a healthy person? Okay. Then yes, right? Have you been diagnosed of any of the following conditions? These are critical illness.
Okay.
Did you just click yes?
No, right? It should be no.
Okay.
Only the first is yes. Okay.
No, you got to read, because some is yes, some is no. So it's meant for you to really read. All right.
Okay.
Are you currently on any long-term medication?
No.
No. Okay.
So this is answering for my son, isn't it? Right.
This is answering for your son.
Do you regular medical checkup? No, it's too small to do that.
Right.
Do you currently own any medical insurance? Yes.
Okay.
Do you take any supplement currently? No. Are you a smoker? No. Do you have been rejected by insurance? No.
Okay, then you declare that whatever you declare is true. And that's it. A 4-digit code will be sent to your phone.
Oh yeah, it comes. Okay,
then you just
code.
Then just key. This is okay. Just key in the number.
Okay. Account verified.
So
that's it?
That's it. So you can re-log in with just now the password that you have created. So the first time log in, they'll ask you to go to the payment, because the payment will debit your 100 ringgit. Just now after you registered, we still have not debited because you have not provided your credit card information. So now you have already gone through, you will proceed, it will take you to the payment screen to basically key in your credit card information. Okay. And this is handled by MOL Pay. So it's one of the licensed payment gateway in Malaysia.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's just go all the way in, right?
Yep.
I'll do that.
So this is a typical key in your credit card, then you will debit your card for 100 ringgit. It's waiting.
Yep. Okay, now I come up with the code. Okay, let me see. Got any sensitive information? Okay, no, can show it to you. Okay, I'm gonna get a.
So you see that there's a 3 ringgit behind. Basically, that is the gateway charge by MOL, because we are sharing because we don't make money out of this. So this particular cost in the sharing side will be borne by the sharer, him or herself.
Okay.
Because otherwise you ask me, just now I mentioned 100, how come it becomes 103? Right, because that is effectively the GST as well as the gateway charges charged by our payment gateway.
I see. Okay, so yeah, it's refreshing here.
I think that's it. I think you're qualified already. That's it. Now you're a sharer. So what happens if you go to the main screen? If you go to the home screen, that's where the counter is, right? You scroll down.
Yeah.
You scroll down.
It's down already.
No, I scroll up. Sorry.
Here.
So you see the 60 days. I need to explain a little bit. So all the new sharer, every new sharer will join in, will subject themselves to 60 days waiting period. So that means 60 days you cannot
do any claim, right?
Do any claim or cannot go to hospital under this particular program. The reason is this is basically a risk management for all the sharers, to be fair, so that people don't come with pre-existing conditions and join straight away and the next day go to the hospital.
I think the insurance company also the same. They are doing the same.
Yes. This is actually not just insurance. This is all called. You just have to stop the people who negative self-select coming to join any of the community.
To take advantage of
certain things. Because I think this is to protect sharers. Because we are a long-term program, 60 days nothing, because it's a whole life. 60 days out of the whole life is nothing.
Okay, good. So I think that's all, right, for the.
Yeah, that's it. You're qualified.
Is there anything you want to show in the members area?
I think if you go to profile, I mean you scroll up. That's profile. You click you come to note to hospital. Scroll up. See the note to hospital. So when you go to hospital, you show on your phone. Then you show to the hospital. This is our professional medical auditor, and this is the number you can call them regarding your admission to hospital. Right? If you show this to the hospital, they will recognize you as one of their recognized payee.
I see.
So it's important that you show this part of it.
Okay, good, nice. So I think you have shown us a lot of stuff. So let's get to some of the Q&A, right? Sure.
I see nice. The things screen. The things are coming up. So.
Okay, let me go through the questions. So if you have any question, just type in the chat box. Okay, that's the question saying, I'm currently healthy. So what if one day I fell sick due to some sort of cancer? So am I still covered?
Yes, it's like this. When you have to be healthy when you join. And I think that's the whole point of having this community, right? We can't ensure we are healthy for the rest of our life. And then that's where when you join a community that you need help. So, but at the onset, when you join, you have to be healthy.
Yeah. Okay, the next question is I'm already above 40 now at age 44. Can I still join as a sharer just to contribute but not going to claim? Is it just want to share? Wow.
Actually, this is a very noble. Thank you for this. In fact, actually, we have this idea. It's just that we have not introduced it yet. Just like myself, I'm above 40. This is another thing of way of doing charity. We will launch a program and we look forward to people like that, like this particular individual to do that, because 50 ringgit, actually to me, maximum 50 ringgit is like one something a day. So it's a dedicated charity. You know exactly how it's going to go to. But thank you for the thought.
I think it's very good, right? We call them like volunteer or something.
Yes. In fact, later you may ask me, so if you are not healthy, I can't join a program, how do I solve my medical problem? What we do is that we will launch later a concept called compassionate sharing, which means people who are sick already, but they shouldn't be coming in to burden the program directly, but they can choose to list. So it's a bit like a donation charity drive. So you can put it, and then all the community members all the sharers can choose to contribute, but it's on a volunteer basis.
That means for those what we see is like normally in the media they will they need maybe 200,000 of surgical fees, so they go to the newspaper and then do this kind of like.
So in this case, because we are of the same like-minded people, so we don't mind helping others, but we cannot force people to help people who are already sick. But so this particular program called compassionate sharing will come in a later stage once we build up the core community.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a very nice guy to do that, to offer to contribute as a charity. Thank you so much.
Okay, answer this. May I know how the insurance company responds to this? Especially there are so many full-time insurance agents will be affected, whereby when these apps grow, this will affect the commission-based insurance agents. What do you think about this disruption?
Actually, the answer is actually we are working together with insurance industries. In fact, we are talking to an insurance company. I am my latest joint advisor is actually from a reinsurance company. I think we don't do insurance. We only handle medical costs. In the insurance industry, they have a lot of other insurance, life insurance, personal accident. They have many other insurance. In fact, we are working with them to say, if you save money on your medical costs, if you save money on your medical cost premium, you can use that money to do other investment into, let's say, life insurance, into endowment plan, into investment link. Those are what insurance want to do. What we believe in life engineering is that we only want to do something that really going to be revolutionized through technology to help others. To just do insurance will be just distribution. So for us, we don't mind offer that the right insurance product through our insurance partner to the community, but we definitely don't do insurance. So the agents won't have to worry. You still have your commissions and all that for the other products.
So it's just affecting, probably it will affect the insurance on medical fees, the hospitalization, surgical only, but not other part, because it's still major.
Because the insurance, their major part is on life, on endowment.
They're selling all other plans. It's not like they want to sell medical plan, right?
Right.
Okay, good questions and good answer as well. May I know how the insurance company? Oh, this is done. Okay, let me see the next questions. Since this is non-profit organization, you said the admin costs and expenses of running business is not taken from the crowd share fund. So how do the organization fund their business expense such as staff salary and office rental, etc.?
Okay. Good questions. I think just now we talk a bit about it. Is that once the community is built up, we can use the community to generate advertising revenue. We can go to negotiate with a lot of the like-minded businesses. Like for example, I give the tire businesses, whereby they know that we're going to come in buying in bulk. They'll give us a rebate of the advertisements revenue as well as the rebate. 30% comes back to the crowd share pool. The balance 70% we use to defray the cost, right? But you might wonder, then how do we survive now when the community is being built up? I mean, we actually got private investors to fund us for the time being.
So the time being is from the private investors.
Correct. Yeah. We don't take the money from the sharers at all.
Okay. Good, man. May I know how many sharers you have right now? If it's okay.
We have not. Actually, it's transparent. If you register as a member, the number of sharers will pop up in the screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How to see that?
Let's see. You go to I go to home page, I think, because this is in a there you see the active.
Okay.
So the active, we have two categories: an active and non-inactive. Inactive means those people who are still in the 60 days waiting. We call them inactive. So we were still small because we just roll out, and then I think we try to address a lot of the public concern about public question and not so much concern about this. So I think hopefully through this program more people know about it, and we truly believe this thing will take off. So we are still very at a very early stage of our program.
Okay, so you have one more today, right? I did.
Yeah. Yes. But it doesn't show up here because you'll show up in
because
inactive.
It's inactive. I'm still inactive.
Right. It shows inactive. Yeah. Actually, we have a lot more in inactive.
Okay, good. JJ want to know is this platform regulated in any way?
We what we believe is that because we are crowd sharing platform, in Malaysia there is no regulations required to do crowd sharing regulations. I mean, you have P2P, you have equity crowdfunding. We are not equity crowdfunding. We are not P2P. But we do believe that we are into an industry that is of public concern. We are working very closely. We keep very closely in touch with the central bank to figure out how to make this this crowd sharing better. So, but in a short, that is actually not regulated in that sense. But we do believe that help and guidance from the authority could be useful.
Yeah. So in fact, you just mentioned to me that you are going to central bank today.
Yeah. I am going to central bank today.
Okay, thanks for that. Another question is about the scope of coverage. Is there like I don't know, is there any exclusion on anything?
Okay, we are very from the in that respect we are very similar to medical health insurance. You go to our program guidelines, it will tell you what we do not cover. Usually, actually, we do most of it, right? We do most of it, with the exception that you cannot have it as a pre-existing condition. That means you cannot be sick and then come in and then expecting the community to share. Otherwise, if it's developed after you join as a member, then it can be shared just like any other medical health plan that you have. But if you go into our program guidelines, it will be very clear in terms of what can be shared. Just on section 4.
Section 4.
Share medical expenses. So that would be what's medical. That would be a long list of medical expenses eligible for sharing, not eligible for sharing, and things like that.
Will it be more or less like same like the insurance?
Yeah,
policy?
very similar. Yes.
Very similar.
Yes,
okay.
very similar.
So I'm wondering like how do you like for my experience is that when policyholder they want to make a claim, and sometimes when insurance company they are suspicious about certain claim is maybe faulty, so they will maybe do some investigation. Maybe they send letters to all the clinics nearby where he stays, just to find out whether this is a pre-existing condition or not. So how do you control this part?
Okay.
Do that, yeah.
One of the things is that we do similar stuff. That's why we actually engage a professional called EMAS. They actually do that so-called investigation.
They do that service as well.
They do that service. We actually have the full service, full capabilities, exactly like the insurance company. Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. The next question, this is crowdfunding is to cover medical costs. So what happens if someone got critical illness? Will there be a lump sum living benefit?
Okay. We don't have a critical illness coverage. That's why exactly I say that insurance companies still have their product to sell.
Yeah.
But if when you join, if you're healthy, and then somehow maybe 5 years later, 10 years later, you develop a critical illness and you're being hospitalized, then your hospitalization cost can be shared. So, for example, you after 10 years of too much nasi lemak, not that nasi lemak again, to become unhealthy, you got a heart attack, then their hospitalization bill for the heart attack can be shared.
So basically, you're just covering the medical fees. So it's not like money paid to you. Right?
No.
Good.
But we do have the bereavement payment, but that once nobody want to look forward to it lah. You see, if you are untimely death, that you have that.
So is that possible that they go to the hospital that is not within your panel, and then they pay with their own money, and then later on claim from the sharers?
Currently, because we have such a wide coverage, I mean, you have 200 old hospitals, we probably pretty much cover 95% of the hospitals, so it's very unlikely.
So you should go to the panel hospital.
You should go to panel hospital, right? Because I have 95, why wouldn't you choose the 5%?
And in this case, I can see that when you are a member, you can also see how much the crowd share amount.
Correct.
That means like, does that mean the amount claimed by the sharers?
Correct. Everything is very transparent. You can see actually, in fact, because currently we don't have anybody share their medical costs. You go in, actually we'll show you every case. But of course, we cover up the identity. For that, like for example, the IC, the last 4 digits will be covered up. But we will tell you exactly which hospital they seek, how much is the cost. So everything is transparent.
Okay.
So you know that you're actually sharing the actual cost.
Okay, good. The next question is about a professional working in Singapore. If he got an accident in Singapore, so is he covered in this case?
No, the short answer is no. Currently, we only, unless you get treated in
Malaysia, if you come back to go to Johor or something.
Correct. Yeah, unless you get treated in Malaysia, we only accept treatment that's done in Malaysia.
Okay. Since commencement, what's the average cost sharing per month with increasing sharer? Is the trend towards increasing or decreasing value? I think it's pretty new, right?
Yeah, we're pretty new. We don't have any incidents of sharing. The idea is that the bigger the community, the less you have to share. It's a very simple. 1,000 ringgit share with 10 people, you get 100, and 1,000 ringgit share with 1,000 people, you get 1 ringgit. So I think this is where the power of number comes into play. And then I really urge everybody to join. If you are above 40, sign up your children, sign up your friends, because the more it is, you will be able to address the issue that one day will hit us, because we can't be healthy throughout our life.
Like for example, like my son now joined, so after 2 months he's active.
Yeah.
And nobody claimed still like maybe 6 months down the road, then that means my 100 deposit is still there.
Yes,
never
you see that 100 ringgit, yeah.
Still never use, right?
So that's why we say we are not insurance, right? Because we don't take money from you. We only deduct to share.
Okay, so according to your own estimation, when you come up with the estimation, the projection for this plan, this crowd sharing plan, how many user do you need to have, like active user, to actually make this really meaningful and going to be sustainable for long term?
I think we're probably looking at maybe 20,000 within the next 12 months. That would make it meaningful. 20,000 is actually a very small number if everybody gets the understanding
it's 30
right.
million, right?
Yeah. So I think we all will forsake one point in time in our life to make it sustainable. I think it is sustainable from day one, because if we get the targeting between 8 to 40 correct, chances of 8 to 40 to develop major illnesses is very low. Two is that we are actively now working with looking at insurance and reinsurers to manage the risk further. So I think with that, and then three is that with a more education and healthy lifestyle, being active, I think that cost will come down over time.
So you say that the amount is capped at 50 ringgit sharing. So whatever they claim, at maximum we are going to fork out only 50 ringgit per person.
Right.
So what if the pool is not enough for that particular months of claim? So what happens to the...
So to bridge the current period, what we have done is that we've set aside money we actually going to establish a medical fund. We'll raise the money from some other investors to basically temporarily bridge,
to cover this maybe 12 months before you hit that 20,000, right?
Correct. Yes.
I see. So you are going to come up with your own money if something happens.
Yes.
Like, oh, wow. Okay. Good. Let's get to just a couple more questions because time is running out.
Yeah, it's a long
list of questions, right?
feel free to email us. Email KC or myself to do this.
Yeah, since I think this is shown in a slide, you can.
They don't have
call
an
this
email
number,
here.
right?
You can just email us lah.
What's your email?
You can just email myself.
Contact?
Yeah.
Is it?
You can go to contact. Do that. At the bottom.
At the bottom. Where do I get? Here. info@lifeengineering.my. If you couldn't answer a question today, so make sure you email this, and we will have some people to reply you. So if under 8 years old is not eligible still?
Not at this point, yeah.
Okay. So for any specific illnesses or some details that is like whether is
just refer to the section 4.
Refer this one, please. Okay, just answer one more. If it will not be necessary to contribute 50 ringgit per month, only if my account get less than 50 ringgit, then you will deduct 100 from my card. Is that correct?
No, I will deduct enough to bring it back up to 100. So for example, your outstanding you left in the account is 45 ringgit, then I'll deduct 55 ringgit to bring it up to 100.
So in my case is that now I still have 100.
So I deduct nothing. So when it drops to below 50, that for example is 35, because after one round of crowd sharing, you left with only 35, I'll deduct 65 ringgit to bring it up to 100.
Okay, good.
And then this history is shown in your apps or is shown in your account in terms of what we deduct.
Okay, nice. Should we get one more question?
Sure.
Now the monthly contribution is capped at 50 ringgit. Is there a clause on how much will the max amount will be in the future, or else it could easily be more than 50 ringgit monthly in the future, because there will be definitely more claims coming in? What do you think?
We are capping at maximum of 50. It is stated in the program guidelines.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because the whole program is governed by program guidelines. It's like our biggest reference book. In the Christian, you call it Bible. In other religion, you call it something different. But it's just basically a book of guidance. Everything refers to program guideline, and then we commit ourselves to 50. In fact, our vision, of course, is a bit challenging. Our vision is to eventually bring it to 0. It's because if we do generate enough revenue from advertisement, generate enough revenue from the other businesses that we affiliate with, the money that every 30% of the profit that we plow back should eventually bring the money down lower and lower.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Gim, for coming to our studio to do this. And I guess we have answered most of the questions. So if anything you still need, then of course you can always contact them. You can go to if they message you on your Facebook page, you can
we
reply,
do
right?
Immediate response. I'm not immediate, but we do a same day response. But I urge everybody to sign up because currently we have a promotion of first 2,000 sharers to be not having to pay the 100 ringgit annual participation fee.
So that means if after the promo period of 2,000, right?
Then you have to pay 100 ringgit
every year.
Every year. Sorry, correct myself.
But now it's like 100 just one time.
Yeah.
And next year you don't have to renew on the
No,
100.
no, there are two. Sorry, just Casey, correct.
Yeah.
It's like a joining fee. No, it's a participation fee. So every year you pay 100 ringgit. That's how the program. Also, actually, that one also go to a certain extent defray our expenses. But for the first 2,000 member who join, they don't have to pay this at all for their entire lifetime. So what you do, the only commitment you have to do is to park 100 ringgit with the trustee to wait to be called share. That's all. And the 100 ringgit is not spent, right? It's a deposit with trustee. If you choose to withdraw, only committed to that particular month's crowd share, the balance will be refunded.
Okay, nice. Good. So if possible, you can sign up here. Go to lifeengineering.my, right, and then click join now.
Yeah, please do. I look forward to all of you sign up. If not, yourself or your children or your friends, pass the word around. Right? Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day ahead.
Hi, my name is Wenny. I'm from LifeEngineering. I'm the marketing in LifeEngineering. Please sign up our program, and if you have any question, you can go to our Facebook and message us. Thank you.